An attempt to undercut the popularity of Medicare for All has appeared to backfire on the Joe Biden campaign. Now, this is a poll commissioned by the corporate think tank Third Way. So they paid Joe Biden's polling firm to do their own poll on Medicare for All, essentially testing various ways that they could undercut the popularity of Medicare for All. So Bloomberg broke this story. Biden-linked firm tests messages to undercut Medicare for All. So, through the framing of the questions, I'm not going to break down, the whole poll here, but through the framing of the questions that they put out there in this poll, Third Way was essentially testing the best way to try and make people no longer support Medicare for All, because as you're going to see, a lot of them support it. Now, before I get there, though, let me show you I guess some of the arguments that they tried to use to downplay the popularity of Medicare for All. The survey commissioned by the centrist Democratic think tank Third Way found that primary voters start off favoring the government-run healthcare system by a margin of 70% to 21%, but can be persuaded to oppose it. The study showed that Democrats are most swayed by the arguments that the program would impose a heavy cost on taxpayers and threaten Medicare for senior citizens. Now, of course, that's complete BS. Those arguments just completely made up. So this is something you will notice consistently if you are really into, these various candidates and their platforms. If you're familiar with Bernie Sanders and his proposals, they are incredibly popular. And the only way that any of these other candidates and the media is able to go after him is if they lie about his policies. Because if you actually tell the American people the reality of, for example, Medicare for All and what it does, it is incredibly popular. So let me let me address those 2 points there they made. So it would impose a heavy cost on taxpayers. Complete BS. I mean, I've talked about this again and again. I'm Canadian. We have a single payer system, so I understand how this whole process works. So understand, coming from somebody who lives in a system that has healthcare, they are lying to you. Medicare for All is exactly what Americans need, and anybody trying to undercut that is lying to you. The only people that would pay more in taxes than they currently do to a private insurance company are the wealthiest people in America, the top 1%. Everybody else would pay less through their taxes than they currently do to a private insurance company. And on top of that, no co-pays, no deductibles, no out-of-pocket expenses. You overall save under a Medicare for All system, while at the same time being guaranteed free healthcare at the point of use. So just imagine not having to worry about insurance companies, not having to be on the phone, not having to worry about, out-of-pocket expenses, paying bills that are owed, not having to worry about any of that. If you're sick, you go to the doctor, you come home. That's how it works here in Canada. So I go to the doctor, I show my health card, I see my doctor, I leave. That's how it works. I had surgery once, same thing. The surgery was scheduled. On the day it was scheduled, I went, I got the surgery, I came home. That's it. Never had to think about anything else, never had to think about paying anything, doing anything. It's all just there. It's done. Now, on the point of Medicare for seniors, how Medicare for All would somehow threaten Medicare for seniors, also complete BS. Sanders advisor Warren Gunnels tweeted this out. Disgusting. A polling firm linked to Biden is working overtime to mislead Americans about Medicare for All by echoing bogus GOP talking points. Fact. Medicare for All improves benefits for seniors by covering dental, vision, hearing, and home care. And again, all these details are simply in Bernie's bill. So anytime they try to undercut this message of Medicare for All, understand they are lying to you. Now, I want to go into showing you how this kind of backfired on Joe Biden, or at least on Third Way that was working through Joe Biden here. So let me first show you the breakdown of who they polled here. So if you look at this page here, you see that the people that were polled in this survey, 22% consider themselves to be liberal, 45% consider themselves to be moderate, and 31% conservative. So I've talked about this before, but a lot of people really don't know what these terms mean, or I should say they mean different things to different people. So somebody may consider themselves to be a moderate, but in reality, when it comes to actual policy, they are liberal or left-leaning, but they don't even know it. But keeping in mind here, people that are self-describing themselves as liberal, moderate, or conservative, the vast majority of the people polled here are moderates or conservatives. So let's get to their thoughts on Medicare for All. Understanding that the vast majority of people answering this question are moderate or conservative, a majority of them, 53%, support Medicare for All. And 70% of them that are Democratic primary voters also support it. 70%. So in this poll designed to mislead people, and I'm not sure if they purposely try to only ask people that are moderate or conservative, but clearly, 76% of the poll respondents are moderate or conservative. That's a huge chunk of people. And still, even though 76% of them lean moderate or conservative, the vast majority of them support Medicare for All. The vast majority of Democrats support Medicare for All, and a majority of them support Medicare for All altogether. So the only way to get people to be against Medicare for All is to be dishonest about what it does. And that's what the rest of this poll tries to do. So I'm not going to get into all the questions and the details here. You can actually, I'll link to it below the video if you want to read through the poll. But you can see from the various questions, they're testing all sorts of things, all sorts of ideas. Oh, what if you're told that it hurts seniors? Do you still like Medicare for All? What if you're told that your costs are going to go way up? Do you still like Medicare for All? They try all these various ways, and then they have their own version. I don't have it in front of me, but I think it's called Cap and I don't know. It's called Cap and Save or something. So I guess apparently what Joe Biden may try to roll out here is that, oh, we're going to cap your costs and you're going to save. But that's what Medicare for All does, but better. It is a comprehensive system where everybody is paying into it, and you take out the profit-making middleman. So, of course, across the board, costs go down for the vast majority of Americans. And the only people that would pay more under a Medicare for All system would be the wealthiest Americans who can't afford to pay more. So there is so much misinformation out there about Medicare for All. I have a ton of videos on it. You can search my channel, just search up Medicare for All or healthcare. You'll see my previous videos on Medicare for All where I dig more into the details and discuss my own experience as a Canadian under a single payer system. So just inform yourself on this stuff, and also share this video and share this information with people in your life that may be misinformed in this, because this is the only way to actually get the truth out there.